Lyda, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running.
Okay, I've lived in El Paso since 1997. I moved here in order to prosecute child abuse cases, and then I fell in love with the city, and I fell in love with my husband, and decided to settle down here in El Paso. And here I am, I guess close to 13 years later, and I decided to run because I don't think that my constituents in my district are being heard. I don't think that the current city representative is accessible. I don't think that she's in tune with the issues going on in my district, and I think that I have the energy, the vibrancy to have my thumb really on the pulse of what's going on in my district.
What do you think is the single biggest issue pressing your particular district that you're seeking to represent?
I think the most crucial issue in my district really is the development in Trans Mountain and business development generally in the west side.
What critiques do you have of the incumbent right now? I mean, if a voter sitting there has to make a decision between you and the incumbent, what would you tell that voter?
I think one of the big issues is accessibility. From the constituents that I've talked to in my district, they say they try and set up meetings. It's virtually impossible to get a meeting with her, that she doesn't understand what's going on in the district with the exception of her niche in the district, and I think that's one of the big issues. I think the second issue is she's been there a while, and I don't think she has the energy that that position needs. I think politics is for someone who has vitality and vibrancy.
There's several issues that have been before City Council. In general, do you feel like City Council exerts too much control, not enough, just the right amount? What would you say?
I think they've actually, as a general rule, exerted just the right amount, but I'd like them to be consistent on their positions. So my concern in the issue of transparency is sometimes they'll vote one way, they'll say another thing, and then 6 months later you'll see them vote on the exact same issue or have a position on the exact same issue that is completely opposite. So I think that's the biggest concern I actually have. If you have an educated decision, you've talked to the smart people, you've looked at the numbers and you've looked at the facts, make your decision and stand by it, unless of course new evidence is presented.
Economics seems to be the prevailing theme of the race right now. How would you characterize your view on city economics and budget issues?
I do believe in small government. I think the government needs to be as minimally intrusive in our fiscal lives as well as our private lives. I don't think that's the purview of government at all. I would say that one of the issues that we need to do is we need to expand some of the existing public systems into the private sector. I do believe in competition. I think that's a healthy way for the city to grow. I also think that we have to make our city as diverse and tolerant as possible in order to encourage big businesses to come. The reality is the majority of Fortune 500 companies, the way that those companies and the direction they're moving in is to have diversity, and I think El Paso has to be that place.
Okay, what's your last message to voters?
My last message to voters would be check out my website, check out my background, see who I am and my commitment to El Paso and where it's going. I think that El Paso has the ability to attract a great number of businesses. I don't think we have to sacrifice our environment. I don't think we have to sacrifice Trans Mountain to do that. I don't think those things have to be in opposition. At the same time, I do believe in social justice issues. I believe that human rights are basic to everyone. I also think that it's not the government's purview to be addressing what goes on people's private lives, and I don't want to be spending city money on that issue. And I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.